If we focus on two key areas in the relationship with the narcissist, it reveals everything we need to know about how they need to move on to the next person. An object, an external object that they're going to internalize. So let's bring a little bit of sense to narcissistic elation and the role of the dual mothership and by de facto are then turning into their child and then turning into ours. So the narcissist, because they don't have a safe internalized vision of their real mother inside of them, they have created this fictional sense of mum. It's a self-reliant, narcissistically libido-driven image of mother. It is there to keep them safe, but it's a very harsh, critical mum. So it's always demanding, it's always criticizing. And the false self itself is a slave to that mother, and the mother is a slave to the false self because they are fully merged. They are fused together as one entity. So there is no distinguishable sort of difference between the false self and that fictional internalized version of mum. So for them to feel whole, they need to merge with another internalized vision of an idealized object, an external idealized object that is being represented internally to them by another sense of someone else who's willing and accepting to accept the shared fantasy. So what is the shared fantasy? Well, the shared fantasy itself is the merging of you, the third party internally, with these other two objects that are merged into one, and you are now a competing mother with the fictional sense of mum that exists inside of them. And the reason this is happening, it is a repetition compulsion of an event that didn't happen. So the external you represent that idealized mum that they didn't have. That mum that didn't let them away and behave and give them an idealized image of themselves that they were able to upkeep enough to feel like a good object. And when we understand the addiction to this, the addiction to the false self, and that need, that absolute need to merge to another object, then we can understand why narcissists move on so quickly. So if you think about it whenever you met this person and just how excited they were and how little you knew about them, except that maybe they had a crazy ex or they've got this victimhood story that leads you down the path of believing that their vulnerabilities are appearing the same as yours, but in reality you're just getting a confabulated story that suits the narrative. When we start seeing this, when we start seeing it for what it really is, and that's a fantasy defense, then we can start separating ourselves away from that shared fantasy. However, because we have merged and we have both presented as a secure base and we have idealized each other, co-idealization, the image of the Hall of Mirrors, where every reflection is praised and adored. You start seeing yourself through the narcissist eyes, and the narcissist starts seeing themselves through your eyes. And that is a mothering attachment. That is a mothering attachment. And that's where the dual mothership comes in. The secure base, the merging, the fantasy itself of being a repeating failed childhood family dynamic. And it is this inability to attach properly through their own life and their own experiences that is causing this repeating unconscious pattern of finding another partner immediately or during the relationship, depending on the types of supply that they're getting or not getting. Narcissistic abuse and narcissistic personality disorder is an incredibly complex condition, and there are many, many things to understand. But the one thing to clearly get in your head and understand is self concept, and how you are dealing with somebody whose self concept is devoid of reality. There is no reality testing it, hence the doubling down and the grandiosity that comes with that. It takes a lot of grandiosity to keep doubling down on things which are so clearly untrue, and it's so clearly not who they are. Watch out, keep learning, keep observing, and keep learning. It'll make all the difference, and get into your own object relations. Once you stand your own object relations and what it actually means to have attachment, be that insecure or anxious or avoidant or dismissive or disorganized, whatever it may be, whoever you are, once you can start getting that into your sort of intellectual understanding and you start to feel it within your body, you can start making sense of narcissistic abuse, and you will find your way out. I'm proof of that. Believe me, there was one point in my life I was a complete fucking mess. I'm not anymore. I am at times,